I had that froze feeling for a second. And then the second guy came in with the little Max 10 with the big banana clip with red tape around it. I don't think I'll ever forget that. And boom, and that's when I put my hands up. She stood here with it this far away from my face. The end of her gun was right here. And I was like this. And he went around that way. And there was a couple people here. Maria was over there. Ghost, you were over here, right? I think it was me. Yeah, they were in the back. And they stand up.
I was right by the back. My close too. I thought it was a game. I just looked down so slow. I'm like, and I dropped. I was like, okay, I guess it's real.
Yeah. And at first it was just those two. And then a couple of seconds later, 3 or 4 more came in. And apparently they went around the side. They went to the other doors. And it was all over white. I put this doorway here. The lease for this, I leased it, and I called this the sanctuary. This building and the second building next door, I also put that hole through the wall too. So I made these 2 buildings are separate from that building. That's a restaurant with a business license. And this building here, I rented it and I leased it as a church. I have a 501c3 religious organization, nonprofit paperwork. It was based out of California. If I moved here, I probably could have transferred it here and paid a couple dollars if I wanted to, but I just left it there and I incorporated here, same name, and called it a subsidiary of that company. And trust me, there are plenty of corporations that do that. Half the corporations in this area are really based in Delaware, and they use the Delaware tax paperwork. You can still have their business and still be physically located in any other state you want. And that's what I did with this. So this is a subsidiary of my nonprofit in California. I've already been battling the city about that. Not the state. The state didn't complain about it. The city did a few weeks ago. Whatever. You know, I called
But
myself.
it's recent that they're on you on that?
It all started on February 28th. And this move that they did, I'm gonna skip a couple things. This move they did was to take my cameras because I filed a federal lawsuit with the against the city police department for them coming here and intimidating my congregation. And in the course of that, the city police department filed a false police report. They said that they came here on February 28th because there was a fight outside and there was 30 people outside. Well, I got cameras. When I read that, I went back to my camera and I downloaded that to show that there was 2 people standing out here having a civil conversation. When 30 police officers showed up, those 2 ran back in the building and then they chased and the police made everybody leave. And I described that incident to the federal judge, Judge Sheridan. I said that they just committed a fraud to the court. They just submitted a fraudulent account for what happened that day. And here I made a YouTube of it and gave him the link so he could read it himself, to watch it himself. You know, and now they come raid, and really the only thing they took was my DVR, my camera system. You know, like I'll show you where they took the camera system from. But I mean, I admit to everybody knows I smoke weed. I don't care who doesn't know I smoke weed, and I share. But they apparently had a month-long investigation trying to catch me selling something to somebody. And they didn't catch me selling nothing to nobody because I don't sell nothing. I sell turkey burgers. I share weed. If there's any sales going on, it's not going on here. Apparently, as part of their investigation, they found this one kid outside selling weed. Again, that happens outside of Burger King. Go to the train station. It happens at the train station all day. Go to the train station. You can buy weed at the train station. You can buy heroin. You can buy Xanax. You can buy anything you want at the train station. I can't patrol my streets out here. You know?
You're not associated with that guy who's...
He comes here sometimes. That's the crazy thing. He does come here. And he was locked in. And when they raided us, he was walking by. He stood there for a few minutes watching it. And when he went to walk off, one of the police officers here recognized him. And they chased him down and arrested him right out here. And he happened to be the same kid that they say I mean, I don't even know. That's what they say. That he sold them a couple packages outside. Again, nothing got sold in here. And I'm not a dummy. When I first opened this, I asked my staff. I told them, listen, there's gonna be scrutiny. People are gonna be looking at me. You gotta be careful. Don't do nothing stupid. Blah 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 blah. And as far as I'm concerned, none of them do. No one sells any weed here. You know, I don't care about sharing. I really don't. You know, if you turn around and look on the wall right here, that's like my favorite saying. You know, this is my favorite saying. I got the 10 Commandments right there on the wall. So for them to show up with a SWAT team like I'm some radical group that's going to resist, I mean, the most they would have got maybe is a bomb thrown at them. You know, and that's about it.
No, you were probably sharing it.
Yeah. You know.
How long are people in here for?
Sometimes it's 5 in the morning. I sleep here. That's my bed. So if I'm up, and sometimes I kick everybody out. But that's where I sleep. That opens up. There's my bed. The door closes. John, the cook here, he's the same way. We're the old guys here. We decide we're done, but tonight everybody's gonna go home. And they go home. People knock on the door at 8 in the morning sometimes too. They want to come and chill. I have wireless here. People, I tell people all the time too. This is also Weedbucks. Instead of Starbucks, it's Weedbucks.
Why don't you call your home and say that those are your guests?
No, I formed it as a church, and that was my original plan. And I don't know, just because they're harassing me, I'm not gonna change. You know, but I considered it harassment until the other day. Now it's like, whoa, they full out assaulted me. Like that was an invasion. You know, in fact, it was the second time. The first, they did it like a week ago too, but they just came charging in the backyard and looked around, and then they left. I have video of that. And again, these are the videos I've been posting online, showing the police doing stuff like this, and that's why they came and took my DVR. They showed up a couple times and just stood outside, like 20 of them, and ordered everybody to leave. And you know, like, okay. And they're threatening to come inside. And I have a whole bunch of peaceful people in here, and these are people outside with guns, and they're ordering everybody to go outside. So it's like, okay, do I say no, fuck you, and invite a big chaos with them arresting people and charging, or do I tell everybody, look, the police are here, just leave? And that's what I did a couple times. And then I went over and filed the complaint with the federal authorities. Since then, they have not done that. They've come and given people tickets. They started bothering people. They started hanging around. I never had that all year. And all of a sudden, I have all these police, hanging around. The state people and stuff stop coming because, they got jobs and pensions they're worried about.
They're upset. Are they upset because there's, marijuana stuff going on in here?
I think so, but I think it's also me and my outspokenness and disregard the law type thing. And it's weed, it's marijuana. And then I say things like, well, you guys hear all the things I say. But, and these are the, I guess I'll admit I poke people and I irritate people. I've been doing it my whole life though. It's nothing new to me. But it's new that, okay, I moved to Trenton and now I'm poking people who don't like being poked. I'm writing things in my column that some people aren't liking. Okay, and then I located myself directly across the street from City Hall. And I remember when people were asking, like, dude, why did you locate there? Because I couldn't find somewhere in front of the State House. Like this is the next best place. And I have no beef personally with the people at City Hall. Until recently, I didn't even catch any of their names. That building represents government to me, that's it. Like, it wasn't specifically Mayor Jackson or any of the city council members. That building represents government. I could have did this in my hometown from Sicklerville. There's buildings in Sicklerville I could have rented. Who would have came to Sicklerville if some guy who opened up a weed spot, not weed spot, a cannabis temple in Sicklerville? Nobody would have showed up for that. Nobody would have cared about it. In fact, I did it in the state capitol across the street from City Hall. That's why the press has covered things. The Wall Street Journal, Fox News, covering things, the only reason Fox and Friends. The only reason why I was on those shows is because it's in the state capitol, across the street from City Hall. I call it my cannabis courtyard. At nighttime, we have a fire pit right here. People are sitting here, minding their business, talking, with a fire. And like I said, the other night, Sunday night, they came charging through the side door, and there were like 20 people here. Right here on the stage, we're doing comedy night that night. So all these people were outside doing comedy night, and bam, all of a sudden there's police officers all in their faces. And I showed you the video. Everybody like left. Like, that's scary, especially if they're not regulars. All of a sudden the police were here, like, oh shoot, they left. They like killed the night. They didn't arrest anybody, they didn't do anything. They just kind of just charged in here. But this is what I said to the federal authorities. They're just harassing me. They're trying to intimidate my people from coming here. And this last thing was like, whoa, they even arrested me. My Weedmobile has been parked back there for the last month and a half. They came and took the Weedmobile. They stole it. I can show you my the search warrant and everything. It doesn't list that on there. And they seized it, and today Detective Starkey announced that he was doing an asset forfeiture petition on the Weedmobile and our delivery car. Someone donated us a delivery car a few weeks ago too. Again, people are doing this because they're taking me seriously as a church, as an organization of good. So someone donated me a delivery car for food delivery, and they took it. I have no idea why they took it. And again, took the Weedmobile. The Weedmobile to me is sentimental because of the whole, I had it in California, I paid it in California, it meant all this to me. But apparently it's symbolic to them. That's why they're taking it. People know it's wrong. Everybody you know somebody. I mean, I don't know you personally, but I know every one of you knows someone who smokes marijuana on a regular basis. Every one of you knows someone who, whose kid smokes marijuana, whose grandmother smokes marijuana. Like, it's there. It's not going anywhere. We all acknowledge the law is wrong. And half the states now, it is legal one way or the other for medical use, which is supposed to be here too. The state of New Jersey is for medical use. 3 of the people who were detained the other day had medical cards. There are a lot of medical patients who come here. The one guy, they accused him of having a fake one, and he had to go down to the police station, the whole 9 yards. He sat there for a couple hours before they let him go. That's because on the back of it they have a strip where you swipe it, and they can tell it's legal. So they accused him of being fake here and took him down to the police station. And after a couple hours, a state police guy with his equipment, because the city of Trenton doesn't have it, so the state police guy swiped it and said it was real. So then they let him go.
They actually said he was making it.
Yeah, like, all right, I'm barely able to do anything, and I'm going to have some type of counterfeit machine. But yeah, they did accuse me of making fake medical cards for people.
We don't even have chairs that match.
But again, I just wanted to have this press conference to show you, to say my side of the story. The heroin wasn't mine. Again, the building, that fan, there's the motor right there. It burned out or something a couple days ago, and we were trying to get it fixed on the cheap. And one of the guys got accused of throwing it. What did you show that? The propazine, or however you say it, I don't even know the name of it. How you say it? Parenthesis. When they told me that I was being charged, I didn't know what it was. Like, what? What is that? Huh? It took them a couple seconds of explaining to me before I realized it, and I still didn't know where it came from. And so my girlfriend, who's also the part owner of this, then she said, oh, that was mine. And she has a prescription for it. So at some point during the course of this prosecution, she'll show her prescription, show her her bottle, and that'll be dismissed too. So it's still distributed. And again, because it was over 50 grams, I mean, that's the charge they give everybody. If you have over 50 grams, they say it with intent to distribute. So that's where that came from. No sales. They didn't have any sales. They would love to have said in the paper, But we got Weedman on a couple of undercover hand-to-hand sales. And all the years that I've been out here, all the times that I've had police action at me, they have never got that on me. Never, not one time.
What's up with the fortified premises charge?
It's just fake because I had a camera. They call it that's what makes it fortified.
That's the booby trap, the camera?
Well, I don't know where they said booby trap. I did notice when I was reading the articles that one or two articles said booby trap and one or two said fortified. I think the fortification comes from the cameras. But again, I told you what I think happened why they came and got my cameras. Because I was videotaping them. Every time they came in here harassing me, I had a videotape of it. You know, it's just like these towns and counties all over the place where people are getting these body cams, and then the officers cut them off when they're actually out there. They cut them off. Well, they couldn't cut my cameras off, so they came and got them. You know? And I don't see. I can show you the search warrant. I don't see anywhere in the search warrant it says they to seize that equipment. Same thing with my van. My van's not even listed on there. And I know from past experiences dealing with the legal system, in order for them to do a vehicle, they have to have a search warrant specifically for the vehicle. They not only, I don't know if they searched it, because I was in handcuffs somewhere else, but they definitely took it. They broke that lock over there. This property actually right here is actually not mine, but I asked the people if I could use it to have like events and stuff. And they said if I put insurance on it, I could. So I put insurance on it. And I put my van back there. So this inside the fence is all part of the property, all part of the lease. That is actually not my property, but the owners of it said if I put insurance on it, I could have events there and I could have things here. So I did that. And now, like I said, they just broke the lock over there, came in, they took the van. The van had nothing to do with anybody. And one of them symbolic things, trying to just take something from me.
How many paid employees do you have?
4, 5, and then there's a whole bunch of people volunteer and around. You know, Terry right back here. I don't think I've ever given Terry any money, but Terry comes here all the time. You know, he comes. There's a few others like that. They come, they spend hours, they do things. Terry, for instance, always poking up the backyard. Like, I come here sometimes, he's outside fixing something, you know, doing something. And there's a few people like that. This has become their little cultural mecca or whatever. Yeah, something to do. There's a few kids here because I have, you didn't see it, but there's a little sound booth in there, and I have this one computer in this corner here. I've dedicated to developing their music. I'm not really into music. I listen to music, but I'm not into making music and things like that. But there's a few kids here, now that I've given them the opportunity to use my computers and all that stuff, they're sitting there making records and making beats and everything else. Again, they're not out on the street shooting people. You know, like, if I can get 15 or 20 of these young kids off the streets, maybe they won't get hit by a stray bullet. You know, there were 16-year-old girls out there shot a couple days ago. They should be looking for them guys. Instead, they had 20-some cops here for me. And again, whether you smoke marijuana or not, you can't say I'm a violent guy or I'm promoting anything that's violence. It's all about peace and love. In fact, when you first come through the door, it says peace and love over the doorway. You know, like, whatever. Bailed my property to let his group, there's another group here who have clothing giveaways, food drives here, we had a Christmas thing here, there's a few other things. I mean, it's easy to say we just, there's a bunch of potheads over there smoking weed. No, I have a whole lot of like socially conscious issues that I can talk about, that I support. You know? There was a lady from some shelter in Pennsylvania had heard that I was doing that. Like, she's at a shelter in Pennsylvania. She came over here and sponsored a homeless drive a couple weeks ago. Yeah, you know, and they came and brought most of the food here, and then I donated some of my food. The last time a lady showed up with, what, 100 hot dogs? I said, you're gonna be out of those 100 hot dogs in like a few minutes. I went and spent my $300. I got $200 worth of hot dogs and hamburgers and rolls and all that, and gave it away. I expect $1 back, you know. and the police are treating me like I'm a negative. They're totally wrong. Totally wrong.
And who's complaining about? Because I noticed that the store building is boarded up.
There's nobody here. There's nobody to complain. At nighttime, the U.S. federal building's right there. They're closed. They're gone. There's nobody there. There's a guy who lives upstairs. You know, I don't even know if I should put this in a record, but I pay him. He's unofficially the nighttime security guy. He doesn't have to come outside or nothing. It's $50 every couple days. On the weekends, I give him $50. And he's happy. He brings a couple $100 a month. He's not complaining. That's a state building also. They're gone at nighttime and daytime.
The EPA is gone.
Complain.
City Hall is gone.
There's no. It's a lie that they're getting
stores
stores.
on the corner. That's it.
The statement that they said that they had complaints of a whole bunch of foot traffic or something. In a restaurant, people are supposed to come. You know, they're supposed to come walking up. Like it's all crap. It's all made up. It's all political. It's the politics of pot, Jersey style. In fact, that'd be my quote. This is just the politics of pot, Jersey style.
I'm on the Republican committee in District 9 in Brick. I think this is ridiculous. I think Ed here is being targeted. I think there's two issues here. The marijuana issue and the church issue. He's got the paperwork for a church. He's got a constitutional right to have his church the way they see fit. It's guaranteed to us under the Constitution. He wants to open it for 24 hours. That's his right under the Constitution. And for the city to come in and tell him no, it's unconstitutional and it shouldn't be allowed to stand. Just on that issue alone, people should be up in arms. The weed issue, look, we're in a new age. 5 states so far have legalized marijuana. And it's been going great. Just as the founders wanted. They wanted the states to experiment with different forms, different processes of democracy. That's how this nation was founded. Each individual state lives as it wants. They had no concept of an overbearing federal government, which is what we have now. Colorado, Washington, Oregon, Alaska.
In Washington, D.C.
And Washington State. They're not having any problems. They've legalized recreational marijuana. And even medicinal marijuana. I've got severe back problems. I'm in chronic pain. I can't get a prescription for marijuana or weed. It's not covered in New Jersey. It's covered in other states. You know, and marijuana is a Schedule 1. You know, I mean, we're talking from back in the 40s. It's a plant. It's not a narcotic. People are going to be disappointed, upset, whatever, but I've smoked weed for 40 years. Except when I was driving a truck. Then I couldn't because federal law. Alcohol kills more people every year than marijuana. Smoking kills more people every year than marijuana. The money we spend on healthcare for alcohol and marijuana. Why? Why aren't those illegal? You know, they talk about marijuana being a gateway drug. 42 years, I've never taken any drugs. Weed is not a drug, it's a plant. So why is it a Schedule 1 drug? It's not a narcotic, it's not addictive, it has more benefits than negatives. And yet we're tied into this old 40s, 50s reefer madness mentality. I mean, there are studies all over. The marijuana is beneficial. So what are we waiting for? In the process, why doesn't New Jersey have a referendum process where a citizen can go out, get signatures, and put something on the ballot for his fellow citizens to vote on? Why does it have to go through the assembly where the politicians are? You know they're only going to do things for their own benefit.
And when I did go before the judge, when I got arrested last week, and the judge, the first time I ever had a judge being apologetic to Judge Cole. And he even said, make sure you get my name right, because he thought I was going to write about it. He was apologetic because his warrant made me miss 420. You know, my holiday. And he said he didn't mean to do that. I should have went to court. So he wasn't apologetic about that. And I should have went to court. And I wouldn't have got arrested if I just went to court and said I don't have the paperwork. Because I didn't have the paperwork, I didn't go to court. Catch-22 was my fault. I admit it was my fault. I didn't go to court. They issued a warrant. Trenton Police were happy to serve that. There's rapists and murderers around. But we got Weedman on some paper. Let's get it. And that's what they did.
safer now.
They got me at the DMV. I went to DMV to take care of something, and bam, the Trenton Police were waiting for me there. Got it. They can't put me in a cage without the jury consenting to it. And the last 2 times I went before a jury, they did not consent to it. That's why I'm calling out the prosecutor. In this case, don't send an assistant. Let them have the laws to do it themselves. And let me beat him up. So I only need one. Here in Mercer County, all the publicity I've gotten in Mercer County over the years. Here's a quote. I believe I'm conviction people.
They ain't shutting us down. We ain't letting that happen. Anonymous, Weedmans Joint.